This is the video on how to operate the load analyzer in the proposal program. So you're going to go to My Info first, and you're going to scroll down to the bottom and choose View Load Calc Defaults. If this is not available in this screen right here, we probably don't have it turned on for your company, so you may want to get with your admin, or if you are the admin, just email us and we'll let you know whether it's available to you or not. So you're going to click on View Load Calc Defaults, and then you're going to choose your temperature, winter outside, winter inside, your grains of moisture, your summer outside and inside, your daily range, and then you're going to select up here whether it's 15 medium or low or 20 medium or low, and then what is your design temperature difference. So here it's nearly 40 degrees, so we're going to put 40 in both those boxes. You're going to click Save, and then that's going to take us back to once it saves, I'm going to click on the Proposal tab, and over here to Load Analyzer, I'm going to click Load Analyzer. Alright, so I'm going to start with a new Load Analyzer, and it will clear all the data that's actually in the program. So we're going to clear the data. Now we can get started with a new customer. We can add a new customer by clicking here, or I have one in here which is me, which is an older house that I used to own, and it's going to pull in all of the data from tax records that are listed on a national database. So we're going to click Get Started. Now what you're going to notice is it will pull in from the defaults. It will also pull in the number of bedrooms that are in this home. And if this says 1, that means it's not pulling in data. You can override this if the customer has added information. The number of appliances is basically a factor of 1,200 BTUs per appliance. So if you have a home that seems to have more appliances than normal, you may want to adjust that. That's going to affect your latent gain. Okay. The square footage should have come from Zillow, and the age of the home should have come from Zillow. The only thing we cannot calculate is the linear length around the home. And it's important to capture this because this is what's going to give you your gross wall area. In this particular home, I know that the linear feet around the house is 120, and that's the last thing I'm going to do for this. This is your latent. You're going to want to put in a number here. 0.5 is a replacement, and RNC will be 0.3. So I would just leave it at 0.5. If you have a home that is particularly tighter, you can change it to 0.4, but generally you're going to leave it at 0.5. Alright, you click Next Step. Now, the program will actually look at the age of the home, and it will determine what it probably thinks the house has. So in this particular house, 47 years old, they had single glass, and that's right, and it also had clear, but this home does have blinds to dispel some heat coming in, or some rays coming in from the sun. In this house, I know there are 30 feet of glass on the north, there's 105 feet of glass on the east and west, and there's 30 feet on the south. So that's all the glass that I have for this home. Alright, I'm going to click Next Step. Now it pulls in from the last step the total square feet of glass, and these windows do go up and down, and they are wood frame, and they are single glass. There are no glass doors. If I had a patio door or something, I could click Yes and then just put the size of that door, but this particular home does not have that. It's an older home. I'm going to click Next Step. So I do have 2 doors in this house, and they are both solid wood, and so they're 7 by 3, which is 21, and so there's 2 of them, so that's 42. As soon as I change that, what it does is it will give me the option of, is it concrete block or is it wood frame, and it is wood frame, and so it calculates the net wall area based on the total square footage, or the total linear feet around the home, times the height of the ceilings, and then it subtracts out the windows and the doors, and that gives me my net wall area. Alright, it is a ceiling under an attic, and this house does have R30 insulation, and it is a light roof, and it is, let's say it's on a concrete slab, and on a concrete slab what you're going to do is you're going to enter in the linear length around the home, and then it will actually calculate a heating for that. Alright, so now I'm going to click Next Step, and here are my calculations. So these are the summary for this home, and it actually has all the information you need to be able to perform an appropriate load. And I can tell you this home actually has a 2.5 ton system in it. So now I'm going to go Export Cooling Capacity to the wizard. I'm going to click in, I'm just going to say Test Proposal. I'm going to click Carrier, and then I'm going to say heat pump with air handling unit, get started. Now if I had a limitation for height, width, or depth, I could put it in here. But in this situation, you'll notice it's giving me a 10,000 BTU maximum. And the reason I want to increase this is because I'm going to take this up to 37,000 maximum. I'll show you why that is in a minute. So I'm going to have 1 unit of labor, and I'm going to click next step. So while my minimum is 25,000 BTUs of cooling on this house, I want to show an inverter. And so I'm going to have to show an inverter on my best model, I'm going to have to go above the size of the next size up, above the half size. So they don't make a 2.5 ton inverter, so I increased my maximum cooling up to 36,000 so that I could bring up my my cooling capacity on that size so I can see it. I'm going to say Infinity Series 2-stage, and these numbers come over from the defaults for AHRI defaults, and then I'm going to go performance, single stage, and then comfort, single stage, and then I'm going to click next step. And then I can choose my equipment here, and it will give me my outdoor unit. Here is my minimum, maximum heating, cooling, all the information I need. I'm going to go 25 VNA 036. I'm going to say let's go with FE403. I could actually type in my controller if I want to. So let's pull in this controller. I'm going to come down here and say for this one I want to see the HMB6A and then an FE402. And again, it will give me the possible matches for that. I'm going to pull in my next outdoor unit. So see here, it's giving me a 30. So I really only need a 30 here. So I'm going to go FV403 because I really only need a 2.5 ton system for this house. But on my upper two models, they're going to be 3 tons because they actually will go lower than the 2.5 ton system. So I'm going to choose this one, FB4036. It gives me my possible matches. I'm going to click next step. At this point, I can add a electric heater. Let's say I'll add a heater here, a materials kit, maybe a line size, and maybe I need a 7/8 line on these two, but I only need a 3/4 on these two. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. If I like this particular proposal, I actually can create a template for it. So 3-ton heat pump 8-16, and maybe I put my name in there since I'm the one that created it. And I'm going to click edit proposal. So I'm in the admin, and what it's going to do is going to take me to what screen you've probably always seen before, and I'm going to click my sales rep. Let's let Caleb be the sales rep. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. There are my AHRI numbers all matched up. Yep, everything is right. I'm going to click save. And when I click save, it actually will save this particular proposal to the customer. I saved it. I also created a template for it. And now all I got to do is just click hard copy, and it will show me my proposal based on what I entered. It has all of my inclusions. There's my 7/8. There's my 3/4. Here are my cooling capacity, heating capacity, all the information I need. Okay, so now I'm going to come back over here, and I'm pretty much done with the proposal. I can email it now to my client. I just click email proposal, and I click my customer and my sales rep and click send, and it actually will send an email to my customer and my sales rep. Keeping in mind that all emails are 100% guaranteed to go. We cannot guarantee they'll receive it based on spam settings. So you always want to make sure with your customer that they have checked to make sure they've gotten the email from you. All right, so that's going to conclude this 10-minute instructional video on how to use the new Phase 2 load analyzer.